Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Factional Fight Plays Wurm Online. My name's Brian. That's my brother Adam, and we are back in Wurm Online. Another week, another day. Happy holidays to everyone. I just finished my last day of work for 2 weeks. Huh? I think and I think you did too, Adam. How are you?
And
How are you
so
doing?
did I. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
did I. It's a happy day
Yeah,
today.
it's a happy day for everyone, and that's why we're jumping into Worm. We got our beers. We're looking at. We're back in our factional fight village. The update has gone through. So much stuff has happened. So much stuff has entered into the game that I just want to kind of jump right in now that I have 2 weeks to actually go through and just think about Worm for a little while.
Hey, Bloody Drongo. Yay, you finally did make it to the
Yeah.
stream. Awesome.
And hopefully it's not too
Early?
early. Yeah, I'm thinking early for you. But yeah, thanks for dropping by. Today, I really want to get my feet wet with the fishing update. I know this is sort of how it is. I know nothing about it.
Hmm.
Adam knows
A little bit.
everything about it.
Everything.
You're supposed to know everything about this. That's how this is supposed to work. And then, yeah, he's going to teach me. So
Right.
before we get on that, I am wanting to celebrate.
Hmm.
Celebrate the holidays, celebrate our time off, celebrate Worm, celebrate the update. Lots of stuff to celebrate. So let's rip out our beers. Um,
Sounds like a good plan.
I really want to drink here.
All
I will go first. I have
right.
a beer. It is called Flying Monkeys.
Ooh, flying monkeys.
Did you have this one? Okay, it looks like this. It's yellow. Yeah, it looks like somebody drew that on paper at school
Yeah.
or something. It's called Flying Monkeys Craft Brewery, and the beer is actually, I guess, called Juicy Ass.
Oh, nice.
That's what it's called right here somewhere. Um,
Is it
wow, it's
IPA?
Juicy Ass IPA,
Okay.
strong beer.
Strong beer. And today I have a Muskoka brewery. It's also an IPA.
Mm.
Um, this one here is, see, this brewery creates an IPA that's just super good. It's called Mad Tom's IPA. And then they came out with this guy here, which I don't know if you can read there. It's called Twice as Mad Tom, or Twice as Mad. So it's like their Imperial IPA that's just super, super hoppy. I am a glutton for it, so I'm looking forward to it.
So I don't know if I'm just going to read the first sentence here. I don't know if this is something that you'd actually want to read off of a beer can,
Okay.
but it says, "Juicy is the word we use when we talk about our hops. Is
Okay.
juicy a word that you want to hear before the word hops?
I don't know. Juicy, I'm
How
not
are your
sure.
hops today? Juicy. I've got juicy hops. I'm really
Yeah.
interested to know what juicy hop tastes like.
I'm really not sure if juicy is the word that I want to hear when I'm thinking about beer, but sure.
Mmm.
Let's see here. I haven't had one of these in a while.
Wow.
I know they're quite bitter. How did that one turn out?
That actually tastes really, really nice. It actually says up here it's plump and unfiltered. What
And,
does that mean?
and Drongo, you're saying you love the one
It's
from the
very
other day,
plump.
the electric unicorn. I
Electric
know that
unicorn.
that one was actually very nice. I really enjoyed that beer. Um, I probably would buy it again. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Tastes nice and I don't know, fresh.
Ooh, I love this beer. This one has such a full flavor to it.
Well, and what goes great with beer?
What's that?
Fishing.
Fishing.
Fishing
Perfect.
goes great with beer.
Absolutely.
And okay, so I'm old school, as in I haven't fished since last week.
Since last week.
I remember that you go into the water, you take out your fishing rod, you right click the water or the ground in the water, and you fish. And you either get a fish or you don't get a fish. What should I be expecting now?
Well, there's not too much different, like in the sense that you still do all those things, but there is a slight difference in the equipment that you need to bring. So it used to be that you just have a fishing rod that was created by putting, there was a line with a hook and you had to combine it to create a rod, and it was just like a fishing rod. Now the fishing rod is more of a sort of it's an item that has a slot in it. You know what? How about we get you working on making your own fishing rod? So, do you have a log in your inventory? If you don't, I have one for you.
I do not have a log in my inventory.
So I'm going to give you a whole bunch of stuff here. I'm going to give you some shafts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Trade. Give you shafts. I'm going to give you a log, and I think that's good for now.
Okay.
Okay. And you can look up into the crafting windows. So I'm going to do that for everybody here, and you're going to do the same thing. And you're going to type in just fishing. And you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. And in the bottom, you're looking for fishing rod. And
so I see fishing net, fishing pole, another fishing pole, and a fishing rod.
Okay, so the fishing poles are there because one of them is how you make with a carving knife, and one of them is with a crude knife. So you're going to take a carving knife onto a shaft, and you're going to create a fishing pole. I always get these two mixed up.
Carving knife.
The difference between the fishing pole and the fishing rod. See, the fishing pole is kind of like what we used to have, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I don't even remember what it used to be honest. But that's sort of like the starting thing, a fishing pole. And
I see.
If I'm not mistaken, new players can take a fishing pole and attach a line to it, and it's like a simple... I could be totally talking about out of my ass here, but I feel like...
That's okay.
You can start with a fishing pole, but what we're looking for is for you to make a fishing rod.
So I want to make a fishing rod at some point.
Yes. So
my fishing pole has a slot inside of it called an empty basic fishing line slot. Does that mean you can make different fishing lines now?
Right. Okay, so the fishing pole, see, this is what I was suspecting. So as a new player, you can use this to fish. You just need to add a line to it. But we're going to go a little bit more advanced than that.
Okay.
So I'm going to make you a few eyelets here. Is it 3 eyelets? I think you need 3 eyelets. And another shaft.
3 eyelets. How do you make an eyelet?
So I'm making the eyelets for you. They are blacksmithing, so you just take a lump and you use a small anvil. And eyelets is one of the items. So there you are.
Thank you very much.
So very straightforward to make. And you're going to attach, finish off that fishing rod.
Oh, so I got to make a fishing rod. Okay, so shaft on a fishing pole, which says it uses fine carpentry. So I'm assuming you need somewhat of a fine carpentry skill.
Yeah, I have a feeling you'll be okay.
Oh, and 3 eyelets. Okay.
So how's everybody doing in the stream tonight? Have you guys been messing around with the fishing system since it's come out? And
how are people liking the fishing system?
How are you liking it? Yeah, how are you liking it?
I would love to know. All right, got a fishing rod. Came out 50 quality.
Okay, it came out. I think that's decent.
Is that enough? Should I raise that?
You could probably hit it a few times.
Do we know what the quality of the fishing rod affects? Is this something like harvesting where I want it to be low to get more skill, or?
I don't think so. And the reason is because the way that skill works in fishing, especially when, like, I just kind of know this with the fishing rod. So when the fish gets hooked onto the line, there's a period of
Mhm.
time where you're fighting that fish. And during that period of time, you're getting continual ticks. Like, it's like you get a tick every 5 seconds or something like that while that fight is happening. So
Okay.
the problem with low quality, at least what I've been finding, is that if my stuff was low quality, I'd fail to catch the fish in the first place. Like, I'd fail to hook it. It would get away too quickly. Um, so I found, like, after I imped my stuff up, that I was much more successful at hooking the fish and therefore engaging in that fight and getting the skill.
Oh,
Now, I could be totally wrong about this. This is like,
no.
we're so early in this update that this is my experience so far, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So I do have a fishing rod now.
Okay.
I have imped it up to, let's see, about 55.
Okay. So what you're going to need now is a fishing line to go along with that fishing rod, and also a reel. So right now, I feel confident with you choosing either a light fishing reel or a medium fishing reel.
And what would be the difference?
I am not 100% sure, other than I know that the different types of
Different
rods
fish?
give you access to different types of fish. If you go with the medium reel, you'll most likely be
Yeah.
catching larger fish. I've so far been playing around with a light reel, and I've been getting really tiny fish.
Okay,
I
let's go medium.
Yeah, okay,
Just so
let's
that I
go.
can see.
I agree. Let's go medium. So to make a
That
medium
is rope
fishing
making.
reel, what you're going to need to do is create a wooden reel. And I think that's just simply a carving knife on a shaft.
Okay. I do have a shaft.
Here, and I should move this, I think, because the words were in the way, and I'm going to get rid of this just to... There we go. Now the chat is more clear. I feel like I'm very bad at that. When I'm streaming, I always have stuff over the chat over here.
All right.
Okay,
I am
You got that wooden reel?
creating- Here it comes. A wood reel. There you go.
Okay. Now, the wood reel can be used to make either a light reel or a medium reel. And there's probably a couple others, but there's a ton here. So
Okay.
to make the medium reel, you're going to need to attach a leather wound handle. Now, a leather wound handle needs one strip of leather and one handle. So I'll get you a strip of leather, or you can find the leather there.
I can find the leather. Yeah.
Here, there's a few strips of leather in the miscellaneous bin, in the bulk storage
Oh.
miscellaneous bin.
Okay.
Not the farthest one, but the second from the last.
I am not seeing. Oh, here we go. So how many do I need?
Just one.
Go one strip of leather, and the second item,
A handle.
a handle, which I can make from a shaft. There we go.
So my first
Making
experience with this was I was randomly making stuff. Like I typed into the crafting window reel, and the first type of reel I made was a metal reel because I was like, oh, I got some iron, I'm in front of a forge, I'm just going to make a metal reel. So I made a metal reel, and you can see it right here. It turned rare. But the problem with the metal reel is that it's like the wooden reel, where it's a component for another reel, you know? It's kind of strange. But you need to attach a handle to it, and I think the metal reel can make a deep water fishing reel by adding a reinforced handle to it. So I think that rare metal reel is kind of useless because once I attach this item, it's going to turn into something else. Not rare, probably.
All right, I do have a medium fishing reel now. Does it matter the quality?
Does it matter the quality? I think I'm going to say yes. It probably does matter the quality.
In what way? Let's say.
Again, I kind of... Okay, so like the reel is the thing that I'm guessing controls that moment when you're reeling in the fish. Right? Like after the fish has been hooked, the reeling part will determine whether or not you're capable of bringing that fish in or whether that fish is going to be able to jump the hook.
I see. And what are we doing today?
Hey,
Sass.
Sassy and Perry. So today we are getting our feet wet with the fishing system. So right now we're getting ourselves geared up. Brian over here is getting his fishing rod all made, and we're walking him through the process of making a fishing rod.
I've made a fishing rod so far and a medium fishing reel. I am currently working on getting that medium fishing reel better than 30 quality.
And Drongo suggests you always want it to be really
you always
good.
want it to be really good. Okay. How do I make it like really good, not just like good? Do I probably need some medium fishing line to make it really good?
Yes, you will need some medium fishing lines. So
how do I make that?
So I'm going to walk you up to my tailoring area. So you need some tailoring mats. Let's come on over here.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. Do I have some strings of cloth? Yeah. In this bin over here, there's some string of cloth. Not many, but whatever left over. There's the bin in the corner here.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, you're going to take that and bring it over to the spinning wheel. What's the skill needed here? What's the skill needed on line, fishing line? Oh, never mind. So the way that this works is you're going to start by creating basic fishing line by activating your hand and putting it and using it on the string of cloth.
Yep. What's the skill here? I'm assuming
it's cloth tailoring, so that might be a problem for you. Let me know how it goes. I did make some extra lines. So I do have some lines. Some are not so good quality. Some are decent. But
we do appreciate that line, Drongo.
Oh, Drongo.
Okay, so I do have a couple here. Wait, how many did I need?
Okay.
Oh,
so
and then each basic fishing line comes with a slot for a hook and a float.
And a float, yes.
Wow. So, how many lines should I be making?
Let's just make one for now. I have some spares in case we need.
Okay, I've made 3.
Okay.
Now,
so those are basic fishing lines. So in order to attach them to a medium fishing reel, you need to get those to become medium fishing lines.
how do I take a basic and turn it into a medium?
Okay, so you're going to bring those basic lines over to the spinning wheel.
Yeah.
And you're going to just activate them on the spinning wheel, and that should turn them into light fishing lines.
All right, so I'm going from basic fishing lines to light fishing lines.
Do they say that in that tone after you make a punny joke? It might be it.
You know, if you're always making a punny joke, then I think people have no choice.
Okay,
I
so
now have 3 lower quality than before light
right.
fishing.
So now you're gonna take a rope tool. Do you have a rope tool on you? Because if you don't, I have one for you.
That's a good question. I do not have one.
Let me trade you my rope tool.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, you're gonna use the rope tool on the light fishing line, and that should turn it into a medium fishing line.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a whole ordeal, eh?
How long do these fishing lines last for?
So I started. I fished for like a bit, maybe no more than an hour now, and my line has not broken yet. So it's hard to say. It, it's very possible that they don't break very often. It's very
My
possible that I'm
lines,
lucky.
yeah, my lines are from 20 to equality-ish
Yeah, okay, that's okay.
in range.
That's okay. We'll see how it goes. We have spares in case we lose some.
Hmm.
Okay. And I think we're all set to go now. Oh, you know, a couple more things that we're going to make you. One is a fishing net.
Okay.
So look that up. Fishing net.
I am looking it up now. I see that it's a cloth tailoring item again. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh,
my
Yeah, fishing net. Cloth
amazing 30 cloth tailoring skill.
Here,
It's
you
going
want
to
me
get
to,
some work out here.
maybe I'll. Oh, 30 is not so bad. I thought you had way worse than that. I'll let you keep going with that.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna keep imping these hooks here because I'm almost done. I feel.
I need more string of cloth.
Yep, there should be
So
more.
2 strings of cloth. Oh.
And if not, there's some cotton in the opposing bulk storage bin there, if you need it. So far, based on what you're seeing now, how do you feel about this whole system?
I'm finding it that what's the good word? So it's in depth to the point where either I have to love fishing in general, or I hope that there's a big prize at the end of this.
So you're hoping
Okay,
that there's
so-
something worthwhile that's going to convince you to go fishing.
That's right. So at this point, so fishing net, 2 strings of cloth, which is not that bad, a rope, and a shaft. I have a shaft.
There should be
already
some
here.
rope in the miscellaneous bin. Just double check
some
that. for
rope.
you. Yeah, there's some rope in there. That miscellaneous bin, I swear, has like tons of random
But-
stuff in there.
You know what? That's sort of how it should be, right? If you want to do something in Worm, it's probably because you like doing that thing and not because someone's telling you to do it.
Right.
Usually people don't have Griffith telling you to do stuff. You just do it. I'm a special case.
I suppose you are a special case.
I don't know if that sounds good or not. The way that you said that. All right, I have a fishing net. It's 50 quality. That's not too bad for me.
Wow. It came out 50 quality.
Yeah.
Goodness. Okay. That's
I don't
good.
know what the fishing net's for. I'm assuming it's to just like get some fish in there or something.
Okay, now there's one more thing that we're going to make you, and that is a
Yes.
tackle box. So for this, we're going to need
tackle box. Okay.
some wood shingles.
Wood
Okay.
shingles. I
So
can make those. Do we
you
have
work-
any?
You work on that. I'm gonna work on the other bit to it.
Okay, I have 160 wood shingles. Is that enough?
You need 3, so I think you're good.
I I feel like that's enough. Okay, so what do I do with them
Okay, so
exactly?
give me 1 second. I gotta make you the initial bit here. It's
Okay,
under somewhere. It's under tools. That's interesting. A tackle
okay, I'll
box is
just I'll just
considered a tool.
keep I'll just keep working on this medium fishing reel. I got it up to 50 quality so far.
Okay, I'm gonna trade you the unfinished tackle box. And in addition to the
Yeah.
what was it? In
Oh,
addition to
apparently
the
this fishing reel
shingles,
is
you need another strip of leather.
another strip of leather. I can get one of those. Okay.
Okay, and I almost
Strips
got
of leather.
all these hooks up to 50. Hey, Wurm Legios.
Hey,
How are you tonight?
are you ready to fish?
Yeah, we're just about to embark
We're
on
all
our
ready to fish.
very first fishing trip on stream. In fact, I don't think
What?
we've ever fished on stream.
Have we never fished on stream? Is that why I have 7 fishing with like 3 times skill gain next to it?
Yeah, probably.
Uh,
You know, there was that one video that we made where you logged on a brand new character and we did like a little fishing tutorial bit. It was one of the tutorial episodes that we made. You probably have higher fishing on that tune than you have on your tune.
yeah. That's okay. You know what?
Right.
Maybe this will get me to fish. Who
Yeah.
knows?
So do you?
Stranger things have happened.
Is your tackle box all ready to go?
What skill is this tackle box exactly? Is it smithing?
It is blacksmithing.
Is it blacksmithing? Because I do not have blacksmithing. And is that why it keps failing and
But
that
isn't
this
it-
witch needle is now 7 damaged?
But isn't it so much more satisfying when you make it yourself?
Of course it is. But is it really fun to watch me fail
It
at
is
making this myself?
amazingly fun.
Okay, I should not be asking you that question. Anybody else? Is this fun watching me try to make a tackle box and continuously failing? I am now at 9 damage.
Okay, I have a better task for you. Pass me over those things.
This is the last. If it just goes in, I have a tackle box.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't go in, but if it did, I would have had a tackle box. I'm trying one more time. This is not going to be that high quality. I mean, it's
Probably
currently
not.
at 25 quality.
Okay, that's not bad. It's not.
Oh,
I don't-
I have a tackle box and
Nice.
it's 30 quality, and I'm just going to see what it looks like on the ground because
Okay,
That's
so
my
there's,
thing.
there's another thing that I'm gonna. You have your medium fishing reel, right?
you have any idea where my tackle box just went? I think it just went into the ground.
What did you do?
I put it on the ground.
You tried to put it on the ground.
Oh, wait. Here it is.
There it is. Okay, cool.
Nice. Fishing net.
Does it open? Okay, there's the net.
Ah.
Okay, yeah, very cool.
Is there a net card? Is it? Oh, it's in the ground.
It's in the ground.
Ah. My reel, a fishing rod, is
Now a pile.
now in a giant box. Okay. A fishing rod looks like that.
Yeah. Okay, so the quality of the tackle box creation is based on the quality of the mats you put in.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter how high quality my tackle box is because I will get Adam to imp it if that's what I must do.
I don't think it matters too much, to be honest. All right. Are we ready to get started with this?
I am ready. I'm like the
Ready to
most
go.
pumped I've ever been
Okay.
at the idea of fishing.
So there's one more thing that I wanted to look at because I've decided to go raid my pantry and I found a bunch of dough that was just
Yeah.
lying around and I made some dough balls. Is that what they're called?
Oh,
Dough
nice.
balls? Yeah,
Dough
dough
balls.
balls. So I have a whole bunch of dough balls that I've already taken a
Mhm.
tick. Oh well. We're going to be using some dough balls that have some damage on them. Wait, where'd you go?
Specifically, I am missing one thing out of my out of my fishing
Okay.
supplies, and that would be a chair. I am
A
taking a
chair.
chair with me.
Okay. You
All
want to grab
right,
me
I
one?
have my chair.
You want to grab me one?
Is there another one somewhere that I
I
can
don't know.
just easily grab?
Yeah,
Find
up at
out.
my carpentry area. There is one more thing that
Ah,
we're gonna need, and that's
I still get lost in your area.
what is it called? A float. Let's take a look at our options for floats. So we could use a
A
feather,
float.
but we
Do we
don't have
have a
any
feather?
chickens. No, we don't have any feathers. So we can use a twig.
Oh,
Twigs are found on bush tiles. We can use small moss, which are found from moss, and bark found on overaged birch trees. I don't
is
think
there
we
any
have
moss
any.
around here?
I don't think there's any moss, and I don't think there's any overaged birch trees. So I think we're resorting to looking for bushes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There might be a few bushes around, so I guess along our way down to the water, we can look for some bushes.
I've completely failed at finding
There was a chair up
at
by the spinning
finding a
wheel.
chair.
Right by
Yeah,
the
I took
spinning
that
wheel.
one already
Oh, you
for
took
myself.
that one. Oh, okay, good. Okay, well, you took that one already for yourself, then.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what you're gonna do
All right.
for
I
sitting.
I do have some
Guess I could
bark.
make you one.
Boy, the bark has also gotten damaged too. That's a little annoying.
Wow, where have you been putting this bark?
In the tackle box, and
Oh,
it's just
found a chair.
decaying in the tackle box. That doesn't seem right, does it?
Well, did you dry it first? They should allow us to like dry it with salt or something.
Yeah, maybe. Or just that it shouldn't decay.
All right, so what should I be doing
Well,
near bushes?
come on down to the water, and every bush that you look, just I'm not actually sure. Do we need a like a sickle or something? Let's activate a sickle, just in case. It
Okay.
could be that you just right click and it's in the nature option to search for a twig.
I see forage and botanize.
Here, okay, so I found an option to search for twigs. Let's double check if maybe if we still get that option. Yeah, so if I'm not activated a tool, then I think that you still get the search for the twig option. And there's a possibility that it won't have a twig. Oh, goodness. I just got a supreme twig. And I just got a second one. That's so weird.
Nice.
What?
Hey, Budzilla.
What just happened?
Who
Hey,
wants
Budzilla.
a supreme twig?
Ah, man.
Because we got plenty of those.
I got a supreme metal reel and a supreme or a rare metal reel and a supreme twig. This is perfect. All right, are you on your way down?
I am on my way down, yeah. That's good. I think I have everything. I'm walking quite slowly. I feel like I need to change into my fishing outfit.
You have a fishing outfit?
So let's do that now.
Okay, and
It
we'll
would be
sit
really
on
cool
our.
to have a fishing belt. Just have like a I know they have a tackle box makes more sense,
Hmm.
but I still want a fishing belt.
You know what we need is a fishing
A
hat
fishing belt. Oh, a
that
fishing hat. Yeah,
you
holds
can
the
put,
lures.
yeah, that you can put hooks into
Oh my
and
God,
holds your
yes.
hooks. That's what we need.
I will simulate that with the only thing that I have, which is not quite. I wish I had a summer hat, but I don't.
There you go.
So instead, the only thing I have is this.
Let's see if I have mine.
Hello, Joel.
Hey, Joel. Welcome,
Hope you're
welcome.
doing well. Um, we're just about ready to fish, I think. Is that true?
I think we
Tell
are.
me, the water is different, right?
Yeah.
The water looks different to me.
It looks very calm right now, but there are times where it looks very wavy.
Huh. What
But
happens if I just swim? Does it change the way that if you're looking at me?
let me see. Where'd you go? Nope. Water does not respond to people, it looks like.
All right. That's okay.
However, I have seen it pretty wavy, and right now there's a light breeze. I wonder if the amount of waves is dependent on the weather. Now,
Maybe.
one thing I know is that they had to do something to prevent the water from clipping through the land, like we saw in the test server, and
And what did they do?
I don't know exactly what was done, but I do notice that the waves aren't nearly as wavy as they were when I saw them on the test server. So they might have had to tone down the height of the waves in order to help the clipping issue.
That's a little disappointing.
Yeah, maybe they'll find some other solution, or I'm only guessing, to be honest. I have no idea. But anyway, let's get ourselves started. So you said you brought us some chairs.
I did. You know what I did forget?
What did you forget?
I forgot some either marble or stone. I guess there's no easy way to get that here.
The water is too shallow to fish. The water is too shallow to fish. Okay, interesting.
Is this really too shallow to fish?
I have a feeling that it's not that that's too shallow to fish. Okay, there we go. So I'm throwing him. I've never done this with a fishing net before.
Oh. Oh, there actually is no. Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
weird. On my screen, I don't see the net. But on your screen, you do see the net. That's
okay,
interesting.
I'm seeing the net on my screen, but you're saying
Yeah.
you don't see me fishing with the net.
I don't see. It's very just. I see it from certain angles, I guess. Okay, anyway.
Now, am I
What
getting?
exactly are you doing?
I'm not even sure. It looks like a timer is going up. It was a 1 minute long timer or so. We shall see what happens once the timer's done. We got 3 seconds. You pull in the net.
How's that?
You finish pulling in the net. Let's see. Does the net get some fish in it? Is that maybe? Nope. I'm skunked.
So you throw out the net and start slowly pulling it in, hoping to
Okay.
catch some small fish.
I see you with the net. That is a nice little animation of you scooping the net around.
Yeah, with my fishing hat.
Yeah, with your fishing hat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened to my hat. I must have put it away.
I am almost at the end of my timer here,
Okay.
and it says, "You finish pulling the net."
And? And?
I got nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, okay. You got nothing.
Like,
Okay. How about we start with our...
am I supposed to get something?
I don't know. I'm not even sure about the net. That was my first time using the net, and it seemed like nothing happened.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping for some more maybe descriptive event window messages or something that indicates why we failed, or like, is it that there were no fish to catch, or was it that our skill's too low, or was it, I don't even know, they all scrambled away. Okay, let's start with our fishing rods. How about that? I think that might...
Sure.
Okay, so here's
Give
how
me
we're...
a second.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So
go ahead.
you're gonna take your fishing stuff, your reel, right? You have a reel, right?
Yep.
And you have your line.
I have a reel. Yep.
You have your line. Okay, so you're going to assemble that fishing hook by taking that line, putting it on that reel, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so I'm taking my line
Boom, 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 boom. I got...
and I put it into my reel.
Goodness. Here's the problem.
Do I
with
need
the
a hook or a float?
Do you need a hook or a float? You will need a hook and you will need a float. So I'm going to give you a...
I need both of those. Okay.
Both of those things. So trade with you. I will give you
So you
one
have
of
to use the
these.
net a couple more times, and then eventually you catch some. All right.
So use the net sometimes more. You usually catch a couple of fish. Okay. I totally agree with you, Joel. We need emotes.
You know what? I've got 2 weeks
Yeah.
off work. Starting right now, I can do that. I can find some time and create some emotes for you guys. I'll go back through our streams. I don't know how far back, and I'll find some of our faces, and I'll turn them into emotes.
I've been sort of putting it on Brian here because I
Yeah.
am a dunce when it comes to
I've
Photoshop.
got some time. And even though I've got this thing that I still want to play Wurm with at some point, does anybody want to watch me play Wurm where you don't see my face, you just like see... Wouldn't
So
that be... Oh no, I just did that and it just activated my mixed reality portal.
No.
I better put it down. Close that up. All right.
RoboCop.
Yeah. Worm Online starring RoboCop.
All right. So once you have everything hooked up, you should have your rod with your reel in it, and then the
All right,
reel
what were we
should have
doing?
the line.
You gave me this. You gave me this. Am I missing bait? Do I need bait?
Yes,
It
you
says it's
do. So
optional.
I'm gonna grab you some
Oh,
bait.
dough balls. Nice.
Dough balls.
Thank you, dough balls.
Now, what's nice is that you can put that bait into your tackle box under the dough balls shelf.
Oh, really? Tackle
And then
box.
with the way the tackle box is supposed to work is that
Oh, wow. I see this.
as
That's-
one gets used up, so as your dough ball gets used up, it'll automatically load the next one from your tackle box.
Interesting. Dough balls. So this actually just tells me every kind of thing that you can have in a tackle box.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like literally this is it. Corn kernels, wheat grains. That means you could have taken corns and just like got the kernels out of it.
Yep.
How many kernels do you get per corn?
I don't know, but
I feel like in real life
you could get
that'd be a lot of kernels.
Yeah. Well, I got
Per
from
corn.
one piece of dough, I got 10 dough balls.
Nice. So maybe
So-
that's what it is. 10.
It might be something like that.
Okay, so I put them in my tackle box. Do I need to load one of them?
You need to load one of them.
Okay. Loaded one of them. So I take the reel. So this is what I've done. So we made a fishing rod. Our fishing. What did I make? A fishing rod
Okay. Yeah. When you put your medium fishing
by
reel,
making. Let me see.
yeah, by putting the medium fishing reel into the rod, it becomes a medium fishing rod.
Yeah, I just want to be exact here. What exactly? I made a fishing pole,
Right.
took the fishing pole, turned it into a fishing rod.
Right.
Then I made a fishing
Reel.
a fishing reel. Did I make a medium fishing reel or did I
No,
make a
you made
light fishing reel? A
You
basic
made a
fishing reel.
no. You made a wooden reel, which
A
doesn't do
wood
anything.
reel.
That's like a component,
Right.
and you attached was it a
With a shaft or
leather
handle
handle
or
or
something.
some kind of handle,
Yeah.
a reinforced handle of some kind, to it, and it
I
became a
created
medium fishing reel.
medium fishing reel. Then I made a basic fishing line, turned it into a light fishing line, and then I
Yeah.
turned light fishing line into a medium fishing line.
Yeah.
And then we got
So hopefully you're getting the idea of how this all works. Once you have it
yeah.
all set up, it's like
I guess we don't need to do this every time. So
no. Once you have it all
which
set up,
which is good.
okay. So now we're gonna
I
activate
made
our
a
fishing
tackle
rod.
box. I made a fishing net.
Yep.
We got some those. We got a float out of a bark.
I also made ourselves a fishing keep net. How do I do this though?
A fishing keep net.
There it is. Does it need to be
Oh,
in the?
there it is. It's on the ground.
Does it need to be? I'm not allowed to place that. Okay. Drop.
And Merry Christmas,
place.
Joel.
Oh yeah, but Joel, have a good night, and Merry
Yeah.
Christmas. Okay, so there we go.
So that's good to know. Atomic ant, 2 to 10 corn kernels. So it changes depending on corn.
Plant it
so
into
is that-
water. Okay.
Does that seem like it's in water? I feel like that's.
How do I plant it? But if I plant, it says the water is not deep enough, so I have to actually like walk down there, I guess.
Or
Walk into the
yeah,
water and plant it. The water's too deep.
Mary Crimbleham.
Goodness.
What does that mean exactly?
Yeah. So, I have noticed some things kind of need working out a little bit.
Tweaking?
The water's too
Tweaking
deep,
around.
and then I go up here, and it says something to the effect of the water's too shallow. Oh no, it's still saying it's too deep.
All right, I'm gonna start fishing while you fool around with that.
So
I've got my fishing rod all loaded up. I am sitting by the dock. I really wish I could create a statue of Titch right now. Plant it right next to me here. I'm just gonna pretend that I've already done that.
yeah. Okay, did you bring me a chair?
I did bring you a chair, but I'm so comfortable in this one.
You don't have to get up to pass it to me.
All right. I'll just drop it here. There you go. I've activated my fishing rod.
Okay, here we go. Activate our fishing rod.
Wow. If I
Right-click
open this
the
all
ground.
up, it's like I put the dough ball into the metal fishing hook. And then I loaded the metal fishing hook onto the line, as well as a float. Then I put the line onto my fishing reel, and then I attached the fishing reel onto my medium fishing rod. When I put the medium fishing reel on my rod, it turned it into a medium fishing rod.
Yes.
I mean, if I take it out and put a different kind of reel on there, it becomes a different kind of rod.
Yes.
Huh. All right. So
Now
now I
that's-
see you already.
Yep.
I
Now
see you
I've,
already fishing.
I've heard. I was listening to Drongo Stream actually, and
Oh.
Sindusk was on Drongo Stream, talking about this whole system of he used the word modular, although I heard that that word isn't. The devs don't like that word for some reason, but nonetheless, he used the word modular. It's like a modular system where these slots
Yeah.
allow you to put things into those slots, and based on what you decide to put in there, it creates a new item, right? So you put a medium fishing reel, it becomes a medium fishing rod. If you put a light fishing reel,
Yeah.
it becomes a light fishing rod.
Right.
So the rod actually responds to what it is you're putting in there, which I think is really cool. And
That's good.
he hinted at the idea that this system can be used in other places, and you know, I think he brushed it off as like Wurm Unlimited modders can, like, you know, they're kind of looking forward to seeing what people have, you know, what they can sort of create with this sort of system.
Yeah. Well, here it is. If you take a look at me, my first time fishing.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
There we go. Oh, I love the what, the target on the ground.
Right, the target is really nice.
Is it specifically telling me that I'm going to fish at the exact point that I put that target?
Yes.
Wow. All right. All right. Here we go. We've got our fishing rod. Got my beer.
Yep.
Let's do what we do.
Now we
Let's
wait.
fish.
Oh, I hooked a small herring. Now I don't know if you can see this, but
Already?
do you see how the line kind of goes in a funny direction when you hook the fish? Does it look like that on your screen? Like if you look at mine?
It is closer on my screen at this point. Like it's gone down and it's moving. The line is moving.
Something happened, and my fishing rod, it's just spamming my event window saying fishing rod needs a reel, line, and a hook to be able to catch fish, and it spanned it about 50 times. Let me see what happened right before that.
A realignment. What is
No,
your
a
fishing rod
reel.
look like?
It says the fishing rod needs a float, a reel, line, and a hook to be able to catch fish.
Well, look at your fishing rod now.
Yeah, it has none of those things. So I'm guessing what happened. This is why I'm scrolling up to see what the first event was. This looks a
You
little bit
lost
bugged.
your line
I lost my line
and everything on it.
and everything on it.
So I feel like, what do you think about making it so it tells you like an alert, and it's just something like you lost like your line?
I know. Well, you know what ended up happening is that in that 1 second I got about 50 messages saying the exact same thing. So there was definitely.
Would you
something wrong
want
with
the
that.
alert, or do you think the alert would be too much? Should it be something
I
else?
want the alert.
Should there be a fishing
Sort of interface?
interface? You feel something nibble.
Okay, then you got to click at that point. And you probably
It
missed
says
it.
I missed the small
Okay, so you
catfish.
clicked and it said that you missed it. Okay, so that
Yeah.
apparently means that like you didn't miss the click. Like you clicked, but it's that you failed the skill check. If you know
I
what mean.
see.
So it's checking your
That's okay.
skill and it's checking your whatever it's checking. Your maybe
Mhm.
it's the quality of your rod has an influence on this. And if you click but you fail the roll, then you lose the fish. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean my skill level.
And I lost my supreme twig.
Oh no.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
What's interesting is that I didn't lose my line and I didn't lose my reel. I just lost the twig, the hook, and the bait.
guess that would make sense. This is nice and relaxing.
It is nice and relaxing. Now, I really like the system, and I really like one thing I like a lot is how the skill goes up. That it's
Mhm.
dependent on like when you click and if you catch that fish, then the skill starts going up like crazy. Okay, so
Ah.
what I like about that is that there's like you can go a long time with no skill, but then the moment that that fish hits, you're going to start gaining a lot of skill, and it's sort of indicating that you're gaining that skill for the fight that you have with the fish, like the experience you have with catching the fish, which I think is good. Um, the one thing that I'm not so happy about is how long I have to wait in order for that first nibble. I don't know. How do you feel about this wait time?
If you were to ask a fisherman, how long, how do you feel about the wait time?
I'm talking about specifically from the perspective of this is a video game.
I hooked a herring. Now what do I do?
Nice. Now you just wait.
Oh, now I
And
just
you
wait.
watch the invent
It says the
window.
herring stands no chance.
Yep, you keep
You
watching.
catch a herring. 19-inch. There's my first fish. A
Nice.
19
Congratulations.
quality herring. Thank you very much. It says a long and thin, bright silvery fish with blue-black back and a protruding lower jaw. A blue-black back. Say that
Nice.
really fast. Blue-black back. Blue-black.
And I have
Uh,
a catfish on my line. It's coming in. Now, if you guys
ooh,
can see on my
this has
screen how the fishing ticks are happening. Well, not every single time, but
So it actually says caught by me, Feyran,
yeah.
on a day of awakening, week 1 of the starfall. So it actually keeps track of exactly when I caught it and who
Interesting.
caught each fish. If I give
Interesting.
this to another person.
Okay, so what happened here? The catfish managed to jump the hook. Goodness.
Oh. Now,
So what's
if
the
I
weight
take
of
a
the
look,
fish?
I've caught one fish. The bark now has 5 damage.
It had 5 damage to begin with.
Oh, okay, never
When I
mind.
gave it to you.
The dough ball now has 46 damage.
Right. The dough ball is
Does
going
that
to
make
gain.
sense?
Yeah, it's going to get a lot of damage. Every time that a fish snaps at it, it'll probably lose a good amount.
Which I guess makes sense. My
Makes sense.
fishing rod at 60 quality has got 0.08 damage.
Mine went up to 11 damage.
My skill went up for one fish so far, 0.8.
0.8. Good. And you
From
didn't.
7 point whatever, 0 something to basically 7.8.
Let's see. What did my skill go up from just that one fish there? Is it under nature? Yeah, I got a quarter of a point, so 0.24, just from losing that catfish there.
Hmm.
Now I turned on sleep bonus right as it was going. Okay, so that one there wasn't so bad. It was just over a minute before I got a nibble there.
Yeah, so I think if you're a fisher,
Ooh, and I caught.
you won't mind the wait. You might enjoy the wait. You might enjoy. One thing that this game probably will need to get more enjoyment out of is maybe more sounds of the ocean, of the lake, of the ponds, that sort of thing. Get like really into it.
So listen to this. You catch a small herring. The herring was so small, you threw it back.
But did you get skill point?
Yes, I got skill. So skill is good. No fish is not good.
I missed the smallmouth bass.
More duck sounds.
More duck sounds.
Oh, there.
One day,
that fish.
someone's going to actually see a duck.
What? Oh, I missed it. You know, the more and more I do this, the less and less I'm frustrated with how long it's taking. Because, like, at first I was feeling like I was sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting before the rod would have that animation I can click. And then I would go through that whole bit where I'm not actually catching a fish. Like, I mean, how many cycles have I gone through right now? Like maybe 4? And I still haven't caught a fish yet. And each one, like so far I've waited 40 seconds and nothing. Although I see a fish. It's coming. It's going to get my hook. And it nibbles. I hooked a catfish.
Nice. I actually see that it says you hooked a catfish.
Can you see it? Do you actually see it
Just
if you look at the end of my
just
line?
that line.
But if you look at the end
I
of my
do actually. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you can see the catfish? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
My fishing rod needs a float. I lost it again.
Oh no.
Although it's still on my line. Ah. I can't tell. I mean, I'm only guessing that I lost it, but there's definitely some bug here. Because it did that spamming again.
Fish coming towards my line. No, it stopped. Oh, it's moving again.
Yeah, I see a fish on your line. Or something. It's getting close to it.
I missed it.
You missed it?
It says I did not have enough skill, basically, to catch the salmon.
Okay, so
and
I
now,
need to float again.
Now my bait is gone.
This is not good. We're not going to have that many floats. Do we need float to actually fish? Or is float optional?
Wait, it did not reload my dough ball.
You need a float to fish, so we're going to be cut short here because we don't have that many floats.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know how to get more floats without having to, like, we'll have to go real far.
Where are the floats? Like,
so we would need a birch tree
twig.
forest. Well, we would need to gather some twigs.
I'm still fishing okay.
Yeah. I've lost 2 floats so far. And I have 2 more. And
Overaged bushes. Or find a chicken or a pheasant.
Check overaged bushes. Yeah, I know. It's just a matter of finding those overaged bushes. On our way down here, I basically checked every bush that we have, which is maybe 3 or 4. So we would have to go, basically we'd have to go searching for them.
Yep. I don't see any fish here.
Now, from what I've heard as well, that the fish that you catch depends on not only the type of fishing rod you're using and the bait that you're using, but also the time of day affects it. Like, there's lots of different factors.
I think, like, at night, the fish go to sleep.
I don't know. Look who is in GL Freedom.
Who's in GL Freedom?
Zalafir. Our good old friend Zalafir.
Ooh. Is he back?
I don't know. It looks like it.
That's cool.
So here's another thing I noticed. So I just missed the herring.
Mm-hmm.
So I clicked on it and I missed. So I failed the skill check, I guess.
Yep.
And then just after that, it says the nibbling at the end of your line stops. The timer continues going for about 8 more seconds, and then the timer stops and everything sort of gets reeled in. So I'm wondering, like, my feeling is that if I miss, I should just be able to keep it in there and it should just wait for the next fish to come.
Right.
At least that's how it sounded like they were expecting it to go. But I don't know. It's either there's a bug and it stops it from going, or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if it just continued.
Yeah, Sassney. I'm not sure if it's the reaction time. I kind of feel like we're clicking in the time needed. But when you get this event that says you missed the herring, that means that you clicked in time, but you failed the skill check.
That was coming out of the mouth of one of the developers, I'm pretty sure, that told us
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I don't think it's about being late. I think it's about, our skill is so low.
Our skill is so low. That is true. I have
And
not
sorry, go ahead.
caught another fish since that herring. So I have
Yeah,
not received. Oh, you just hooked a small herring.
yeah. I hooked a small herring. It's coming on in, and it pulled. Okay, yeah. Let's see how my skill's going. Getting some skill. Getting some skill. I wish I could watch the skill tab and the event window at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm catching it through the ground. See, I love how the skill goes. It just keeps ticking up. Did I get it? Did I get it? The herring was so small, I threw it back.
How was your skill, though?
It's good. Let me just see here. Whoops. What did it? So I've gotten 0.99 skill so far. So
Now it looks like
pretty
I
good.
just. I just hooked probably the same herring that you just threw back in.
Whoops.
Let's see what it tells me.
So yeah, Zalafir is doing well. Looks like he has a
Nice.
kid
Oh,
now.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I did not get that fish. It says the herring managed to jump my hook.
Yep.
That is okay. How do I? So everything's getting damaged. Metal hook, I can
Yeah.
repair.
The hook you can
Bark, I
repair.
cannot. Medium fishing line, I cannot.
Yeah, you can't
The
repair the
reel,
line.
I can. And the rod, I can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't mind that. So initial thoughts, I like that you have to create all this stuff. That you can create and have different fishing for different situations. I wish that you could, like, the consumable items, I wish you could create more of them and put them in your tackle box and have the tackle box not damage. Oh, I missed the smallmouth bass.
Yep, I missed the herring.
Like the bark, you said that the bark was damaging, like stuff like that. I wish you could
Yeah.
collect and have like a good amount. So if you wanted to go fishing, you didn't have to like be collecting floats and bait. You could just be collecting bait, if that makes sense. Fishing itself, I like the change. I like the action of needing to wait for the fish to nibble. I like the animation. I wish only one thing, that after you land a fish, that there was something that you needed to do.
like once the fish is on the hook, you want like something that you're like sort of reeling in or something like that. So you
Yeah,
have to
like go to the left, turn to the right,
right.
something. And that's it. If they just added that, I'd be fine.
I see. Yeah, you were describing the system that they had in Vanguard, where once
Yeah,
you
and I
hook the
wouldn't really
fish.
want that system. Once you hook the fish, then you go through like a uh, little mini game almost.
Uh
And
huh.
this would just make sense. Like you see the fish veering off to one side, you've got to move your rod to the other side.
Hmm.
I think that would be enough for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Two things have nibbled on my line and received
Did I miss again?
much nothing.
Goodness. Maybe we're just out of our league here. You know, like we're trying to
Maybe.
catch things that are too hard for us to catch.
Well, I hooked the herring.
Okay. Hopefully you bring it in.
It says the herring takes a rest, so you reel it in a bit. Herring starts getting tired, so you manage to reel it in more.
I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. Maybe it's because I clicked by accident. Like if you
I
accidentally.
catch another herring.
Oh, good job.
Nice. So
how
far
much-
with the two fish and the one fish that got away.
So my concern
Let me
is
see.
how much weight
Yeah.
the fish weigh.
So far, 0.13
Each of them or all together?
altogether.
All together. Okay.
So do you only see fish when you're fishing?
I think so. Yes.
So the fish is sort of like an animation just for the fish.
Yep. The fish is the animation just for the fish. Yes.
So you can't go to a place and be like, oh, I see a bunch of fish.
Nope. No. The fish just like the animation of the fish and like the model comes up only when you're fishing.
Okay. The same thing happened in Vanguard.
See, so I am concerned in the sense that like the two of us have been fishing here for a good amount of time now. And together we pulled in two fish, both of them yours, and altogether 0.13 weight.
Are you talking like, so what's really the problem with that?
So the problem with that is the amount of time invested for the return. You know, like if instead of going fishing, I decided to spend that time hunting. You know,
Yeah.
using tower guards. If the goal was to get meat rather, for food as a new player, it seems as though fishing. Yeah, it doesn't seem like. Like here's another herring. This is the third one that's happened. It was too small, so I threw it back. You know, like. I don't know.
Yeah, I just threw back my herring.
I don't know what, like, maybe I'm doing it wrong,
If
or maybe
the goal is to
to get something.
collect meat,
Well, what other reason would you catch fish for?
I don't know yet. I think
Because currently, the only use of fish
the new
is
player should
cooking.
use the net. The new player should use the net.
Okay, new players should use the net.
It
But
would be
see,
for cooking, and you would want to have a variety of fish that you can catch, and then a variety of different recipes that you can use those special fish for.
I'm not sure I
That
like
would be
that.
the goal.
No, I really don't think that should be the goal because
Why
currently
not?
the way that it works is that you would use the fish as meat in food. And you're saying that
Yeah,
if there was just more recipes, that would make it better?
for special fish, and you need to be a high fisherman to catch some of the rare fish.
Okay, so this high fisherman, you work your skill up, you're at 90 quality, whatever it is. You're at the highest end
Mm,
of fishing, and you're catching these massive fish. And those
sure.
fish get chopped up and made into meals that are about the exact same effectiveness as every other meal from every other fish.
Who
Do you
said
know what I
they
mean?
would be the exact same?
But
Like the whole point would be that a system would be put in place
right. Well, the
that
problem is
would
that it
now
hasn't been put in
it
place.
hasn't been put in place,
Right.
and just like we heard from like Retro last week, is that that part hasn't been done,
Hmm.
and that people may get disappointed knowing that whatever Titch wanted the second half of this update to be, which was my guess, the recipes, that would give meaning to the fishing that she's implemented. She ran out of time,
Hmm.
and now it would be up to another dev or some kind of dev to see that put into the game themselves. They would have to go through that, and that's why I kind of in the stream last week I said, if no dev wanted to think up a ton of new recipes with like the hard part is the designing, is like the thought process of here's all the fish that we put into the game, or here's more fish that we could put into the game. Where How hard should we make these fish to catch? What recipes should we make? What
Hmm.
goes into those recipes? What level or how hard should those recipes be?
Okay, now let's
Like,
suppose.
imagine you were a person or a cook or somebody that's played this game. Imagine we just create a forum post and we say, hey guys, think of some recipes.
Now, here's the problem that I see, though, is that with the cooking, there's so many
Mm,
recipes out there right now that do so many different things that to add something that's new and unique, I can't see
yeah.
anything really. Like, it would just be another recipe that does the same thing as something else. It gives you an affinity, it gives you the same amount of nutrition, it gives you the same amount of those CCFP bars. Um, like, I can't see them adding a recipe that involves fish that does better than all the others. Do you know what I mean?
So
Like,
you would be against the idea.
it's not that I'd be against the idea. They absolutely need to add more recipes involving fish. Totally. But by doing that, you're not going to encourage people to fish more. Because it would be way faster to go out to, let's say, a steep and gather meat by killing horses.
But would you be against the idea of having recipes for, that you need fish for, that give you something that's not currently in the game?
Hmm. Like what?
Who knows?
Are you talking about for food?
Either, yeah, for food, like you make something special
With
with
fish.
these,
And it
with
gives you
fish, and it
gives
gives
you
you
what?
something either different than what you can get now, or something more than what you would get
Well,
now.
here's one thing that I'd like to see added to the game is where they should add at least something that makes fishing on par with like hunting. So
How about
how about this? when you catch a fish, you can butcher it, and it'll give you the meat. Plus, it could give you animal bits, like eyes and organs or whatever.
Yeah.
Even that small addition, I feel, will go a long way in making fishing a little bit more worthwhile. Because, like, when you go hunting, you're not always doing it only for the meat. Like, you go hunting, you get animal bits, you get leather, you get all sorts of other things that are useful for crafting. Then you go fishing, and the only thing you get from fishing is meat that does the same as all the other meat in the game. And as it is, like I've casted this net like 3 times in a row now, and I've caught nothing. If my goal here was to collect resources, and I spent all this time making the nets, making the line, and I come out here and I've spent an hour or so fishing and I catch nothing, that feels like a big waste of time to me.
So either you can increase the amount of fish that you get, or you can increase the rewards that you use for those fish.
Yeah. Or both. I mean,
I say one would be pretty. Like, how about this? For fish in general now, how about if everything that you make, cooking wise, would give you extra like 10 or 15% in whatever the buff is?
like, say that again? You get 10 or
Whatever the
15%.
buff would have been with just regular meat, you get more buff.
I'm not sure if that would be fair. Or at least it would feel too contrived, you know? It's like, we
But would
really
you
want you to
would
try
you-
fishing, so we're going to add extra bonuses to fish. But fishing, you're going to go fishing for an hour.
Not that we
you're not
really
gonna
want to
catch
try
anything.
fishing, it's that we know fishing is harder, therefore the reward is greater.
Yeah.
We know that the time invested is versus how much you yield.
So the suggestion here is that I'm probably in too deep water. The shore is man-made. Here's the problem. All around this entire place, the shore is man-made. I don't think we can walk to a place where we have no shore that's not man-made. And if that's a restriction that they put on fishing, I feel like that's not a good restriction because, in real life, if you have a man-made shore, you could still go fishing there and there's still fish. I feel like I just put it in the net in there a bunch of times and not a single fish am I catching.
I'd say almost, yeah,
Ooh,
everywhere.
I caught a sardine. I moved over here and I caught a sardine. So the devs confirmed it. They tested because they have that issue. Yeah. Maybe it is an issue and maybe it's just a bug. Over here I'm catching some fish. Over by the clay.
I'd say it's okay. I mean, we would have to go around and you'd have to fish in different spots
Have you
and
caught
just see.
more? Or are you still on
Now I've got 2 herring.
2 herring? Okay, so over here I'm catching a bunch of fish. I've gotten 2 roaches and a sardine so far, so that's pretty good. Except for their 0.03 and 0.02 size. Let's see, maybe I can put the keep here. The water is too deep. It's too deep. Alright. I guess I can't use the keep net. Something needs to be tweaked here. This is my feeling. It needs to be tweaked so that I can catch more fish more frequently. Like even this net, I can see I'm catching fish, but this isn't going to feed somebody. Like the 0.02 and the 0.03 weight and the amount of fish that you caught over there,
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to feed anybody. Although, I guess it looks like I'm catching sort of like bait fish. We can use these as bait.
That's good.
Problem will be the floats, though. Once we run out of floats, we're in trouble.
Well, we could always go for a float run. That's a thing.
But over here, the net seems to be working fine. So maybe it's just bugged over on the other end.
Maybe it's a bad spot.
Maybe it's a bad spot. Yeah, they were saying like man-made shores where the shore is kind of what's the word? Like steep. That there's a problem there. But maybe that'll get fixed.
I wouldn't have mind trying this in Willow Pond.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice relaxing time. This is just another reason why Wurm needs a virtual reality mode
Why? For fishing?
for fishing.
Alright, so let's use these sardines for bait instead of the dough balls. Maybe the dough balls are the problem.
So I know last week we talked about the updates coming. Now that it has come and it's kind of settled in, what have you been thinking about it?
Well, I know there's been a lot worked on, and the patch notes are just huge. But in terms of what kind of affects my gameplay, not really all that much has come in to sort of like affect me. And I know that the fishing is sort of intended to be kind of helping the new player experience and also, giving people something extra to work on. The priest update seems to be more focused on PvP changes.
So I remember back in the, I don't know, a while ago, we were talking about the priest update. You were getting excited about it. You liked the changes that you were seeing. Now it's here. What are your thoughts?
Again, I feel like it changes a lot for PvP players. It's like one step in the right direction to sort of balance and make PvP priesting a little bit more balanced and viable. In terms of how it affects PvE, very minor. So priests do have now extra things they can do. Like, for example, they can continue houses and they can continue making items. They also have the ability to do so the restrictions that they used to have are a little bit laxed. So my Vin priest can now dig where they couldn't dig before, but still can't mine. Those sorts of things have been changed. But in terms of how I personally use my priests, that doesn't really change much for me. I'll still use my priest to enchant. There is one extra enchant that's been added, and so my nodule priest has essence drain but lost life transfer. So I'll be, trying out that a little bit, But aside from that, that's really the only change. I don't think I'm going to be switching to Libella. I think I've said that before. And mostly because Libella is not getting strong wall on Freedom. Did you hear about this? Or did I tell you this last time?
You did. There was something like that.
Yeah, so Libella's not going to get strong wall, so that's pretty much a deal breaker for me. Yeah. Which is okay, because the Najo still has all the utility spells. It has Genesis, it has Strong Wall, it has Essence Drain now, instead of Life Transfer. And also WOA and Aesop and all the regular things that it has. So, yeah, pretty much going to be status quo for that in terms of the Priest. Just keep doing the things I've been doing.
Well, I mean, is this true? Do you think do you think there's stats like this that says most Worm players don't even play on the modern render?
Oh, I don't know. That's a
I
possibility.
don't know. Was that something that you had to manually change, or was everybody switched over to the modern renderer?
I think you had to
And then you
manually
could switch
change
back.
Yeah, I think that you have to manually change it. But if I'm not mistaken, the modern renderer is more efficient than not being on the modern renderer. So if your machine is a lower end machine, then you should switch to the modern renderer. Okay, yours was on modern by default. Okay.
I think if you download it now, or since they did the change, you would get defaulted to the modern renderer.
Yeah. It's probably what happened. They switch it to the default.
But you could still switch to the modern renderer and then lower all of your graphic settings.
Yes, you could. Yes,
Is all you have to do is click once?
Click once.
Hmm.
The fish like to go up onto the land, eh?
Clear. Yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like that should be clearer too. You know, maybe they'll add you know how they have those text that go across your screen?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll add that, because I think that might help. You know, like messages across the screen that tells you what's going to happen.
You feel something nibbling on your line. I click, and then it says the nibbling has stopped.
And there's no indication about what happened. I know.
Yeah, that's normal.
It's normal, and it's something that I think needs to change, because, yeah, like here the three that I have three of these in messages saying. The first one says you feel something nibble on your line. The next one says the nibbling at the end of your line stops, and then the next one says you missed nothing. And I'm pretty sure I clicked it in time, and I don't know what this means. Is it saying I missed the click, or I failed the skill check, or I'm not sure.
All right, Perry. Have a good stream. Oh, I hooked a herring. There we go. Now, I know back in the day, Wurm could run on anything, basically. We used to run Wurm on virtually like the worst computer ever.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since then, I would say. They kept adding more and more graphics, more stuff. Made the game look a lot prettier. Yeah, herring was too small, so I threw it back. I don't mind that as long as I'm getting the skill.
Well, what I'm hearing though is that even people with high skill are having about the same experience as us. Like they'll have 90 skill and they're sort of like missing often and not catching a lot of fish.
Yeah.
I really do think that the rate at which fish come in should be increased. It should be at least increased to the same level as if I was about to go out to the steppe and kill horses and collect their meat. I feel like the meat should be coming in at the same rate as hunting.
But there's not as much risk as hunting.
Sure.
So why would you ever hunt again?
It's either that or fishing needs to also have more resources gathered. Right? Like something has to change because as it is, like you're right. Like as a new player, hunting isn't as viable. But the moment that your fighting skill is about 30, and you have half decent equipment, and you're on a horse, there is like no risk for fighting. Because if you're on a horse, you can just run away from anything that causes a risk, and you can just run up to anything that,
Now, so here's the thing. Yeah, the risk with hunting is greater, but you get more things. But as you level up hunting, the risk becomes lower, and you get even more things.
Yeah.
Does that happen with fishing?
It's a good
As
question.
you level, does fishing get you more?
Right. I don't know. And it might be that we just don't know the optimal way to fish.
You have to go to different areas. There's different spots.
How about this? How about we get into this? We get into the boat.
Yeah.
And we go out a little bit and we try fishing out in the water.
Sure.
Maybe it's that we're just shore fishing. All right, let's take our sailboat here. Or you're over at the...
I'm okay. I was just fishing over here.
Oh, okay. Let's take our sailboat.
Any reason why I have 10 hours of sleep bonus again?
Yeah, servers crapped out, so they gave everybody 10 hours of sleep bonus.
Okay.
And they did it twice
Just
in a
wondering.
very quick succession. So... Yeah, and Sassney, I'm hearing the same thing. People with 90 fishing with 80 plus quality gear, and they're catching almost nothing.
So would people be happy if they just scaled? So they scaled it up. So if you're a high level fisher, you'd get more fish, and if you can butcher the fish for more stuff out of it, if they just implemented those things, would people be happy?
It would make me happy. It would make me more willing to fish because like I actually like the action of fishing. I like the...
I do too. Yeah. Yeah.
If that process resulted in resources being gained, then I'd be definitely more inclined to fish. Like I'd be really happy if we were just bringing in loads and loads of fish. And if you add to that, if the fish also provided you with eyes and potentially other resources, that would just be awesome. Doesn't it look like the waves are higher out here?
Yep.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the water definitely does look really nice.
So Exen is saying that there should be more stuff for crafting when butchering fish. I think things obtained from butchering would be the crucial thing. There might be special oils or for certain fish. Yeah, fish oil is definitely something that could be added to the game as another source of oil. Another thing that I thought of that could be added to the game is bone.
Yeah.
Right? Like bone could be a resource. That's a normal resource in other survival games.
Fish bone?
Yeah, but also, bones from animals as well. But fish bones, yeah. Could be an item.
What would you make out of fish bones?
Can make needles. Can make I don't know.
Yeah. Because I'm not high enough level for to catch these small salmon.
Yeah, it's possible that we're just using a medium rod, which is going for medium-sized fish, but our skill just isn't quite there. That's probably what's happening. But
How was your experience with fishing with a light reel?
so I did try a light reel. I do have a light reel on me right now. It is about the same. I don't really notice much of a difference. You catch some, you lose some. Looks like I got a herring on my line, although
Okay, so just to make this clear, so all they have to do is just increase the number of fish that you can catch, and maybe add butchering options to fish.
yeah. I mean,
And then
the other thing is
people
that
will be fine.
I don't know if people will be fine with that, but
You would be fine.
I'd be better, definitely better.
And fine at the same time.
The part of the other part of the problem is that if the fish don't increase in size, then like these fish that we're catching, that are 0.03, 0.04, like really tiny fish, are pretty much throwaway fish. Like I would mount them to basically catching nothing because of
Yeah,
their weight.
which is fine. I mean, that's worm.
Is it worm? Like if I go out
You
and I kill a horse,
get-
will I ever get that much meat? Like 0.01 meat. Ever.
No, so I'm saying you would get more.
Okay. So there's no incentive right now to fish. And if you want to give me incentive to fish, it needs to give me resources that I'm going to use. And the resources I've gotten so far from the hour or so that we've been fishing are pretty much useless. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, so increase the resource gain per time invested and give some kind of butchering option for stuff. Let's say they just did the one thing. Let's increase the amount of yield.
Okay. So I'm getting
Would
like
you be happy?
if each cast I was getting like 1 kilogram of meat. So 1
From the
kilogram of
beginning?
meat. Yeah, from the beginning. Maybe half of that. I don't know. Something but in that range. Like half of a kilogram to 1 kilogram of meat per cast on average. So this is taking into account misses and this is taking into account. I mean, you got to remember that each cast is a 3-minute timer. Right? And you
How
could be
about
waiting.
just this simple? Like, did people like the way it was? When we're just looking specifically at the yield that you would get per time invested.
The yield that I would get per time invested.
Before they did this update, were you fine with the way fishing was in that respect?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really
I,
do
re-
enough fishing really to
I
know what
remember
it
in
would be.
puzzles, that's what we did. We fished, and then we cooked stuff with the fish. And I remember specifically getting like catfish that were 14 pounds,
Right.
14 weight. Like that was common.
At the low fishing skill that we got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have 7 fishing skill.
Right. We were getting decently big catfish rarely.
It was so effective at that level for us. We're like, we're just going to do this.
Yeah.
We're just going to fish because we have so much fish. And then at the time, it was okay that we got that much fish. Most of it would rot away, and we would have to do fishing again so that we
Right.
could get those fish and cook them and then eat them.
Yeah, I
There wasn't
remember
really much we could
we
do
we
with
I,
it
you
at
know
the
what
time.
you're right. I remember we did catch more than we needed and it would rot away.
Yeah, which is fine.
Right.
And then you just keep catching. If they brought it to that level, again, just like
For a new player.
for a new player, turned
Yeah,
it back, yeah,
I'd
you
agree
could
with that.
catch this much yield. Would you be okay?
Yeah, I'd be okay
Is
with
that okay?
Yeah. And then it just moved up from there. I'd be okay with that.
Like, are they trying to stop us from getting so much weight in fish?
I'm not sure.
Or are they trying to stop us from catching certain fish? And it's not so much the yield that's important.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, what the goal of this system is. But it's definitely made it so that
Because
our yield is less by quite a substantial margin.
we're looking at this from a veteran player. If we're all looking from this from a veteran player perspective, we're looking at it. We should be looking at it like a player just started. What is their goal? The goal in this game is to survive. That's the goal when you first start. The goal isn't to like, I've got all this stuff to do. I love making boats, so I'm gonna go make a boat or something. It's not a new player's goal.
Sure.
A new player's goal is to survive, and one of the main things you have to do
Okay,
to
so then
survive.
the new player spends an hour making their fishing rod, and another hour collecting materials, and another hour like starting to fish. And after the end of that 3 hour,
Well,
they come
they
away
wouldn't be
with
making like a fishing pole, right? They'd be
okay,
making like the nets and the
sure.
spears and stuff.
The net seems a little bit weird to me in the sense that like okay, like it seems like a cheap way to get a lot of like small fish, which is fine. Um, but what if
Is
you
it
just
enough
want to be
weight?
fishing, right? Like maybe if you what
Well,
if you
that's
want to be
different. That's
fishing?
like now we've got like the more advanced fishing,
My
more
feeling is that
complex
at
system in
some
the game.
point, fishing with a rod should be better than fishing with a net. Like they're
Well, let's say it becomes that, and then they scale it a bit better, and then
okay,
you get
yeah. So it would need to be
certain
scaled
fish in
down.
certain areas, and the yield doesn't matter so much. Um, I feel like the yield shouldn't matter as much. They shouldn't be stingy on how much you get.
Right.
It should be more like in certain areas you can only get certain fish. That makes sense.
Okay.
And then maybe those special fish can be stingy with the yield. It's like archaeology, let's say.
Okay.
Imagine archaeology. Like you go out and you can spend
I mean, this is like imagine archaeology, and you go out and
30
spend
minutes.
3 hours,
30
and you get
minutes
only
archaeology.
2 fragments.
Yeah, how many fragments are you going to get?
What would that happen? So in like 30 minutes, how many fragments will you get? You're gonna get 100, maybe more than
Right.
100. Right.
Right. So imagine that. Has that ruined archaeology?
No. And in
No.
fact, it makes archaeology that much better.
Yeah. So like, it doesn't matter that you get so many items. It doesn't matter that you get so many fish. It's the type of fish that matters. They should just be giving out the fish,
Yeah.
right? There should be junk fish that new players would want to use to eat, and veteran players are going to be like, "Oh, I got another one fish again," instead of, "Oh, I got nothing for the last hour." Even in crappy waters, you should be getting something, even if that's something a veteran player does not want.
Right.
Just like archaeology.
Yeah.
And I think that would have made a lot less people complain.
I'd be a lot happier if, I was consistently pulling in fish. If every cast that I lined out, I was getting fish consistently. That would make me happier. Even if the fish were the same fish I'm pulling in right now, which are the 0.05 kilogram fish.
Yeah, so you should be able to succeed, even if that succeeding means nothing to you as a veteran player, right?
Yeah.
Because and then you should be able to scale up. You should, as a really good fisherman, or you should be able to catch like a giant, rare type of fish somewhere out in the waters. You should be able to learn all that, and who knows? Maybe the system has that already.
What do you think
should be
about
able to
the
catch sharks
timer? What do you think about the timer?
Oh, I'm fine with the timer.
3-minute timer.
What's wrong with the timer?
Well, what I find wrong with the timer is that, so I start this 3-minute timer, and I gotta wait to some random point in the middle of that 3-minute timer that it's going to do the animation. And I gotta be extremely attentive to the screen for that entire 3 minutes, just waiting for that animation so that I can click. Now, what other skill or action in this game has you do anything like that? Like in most other
Nothing.
situations, you can basically start a timer and then flip to something else. Like let's say you're watching a stream, let's say you're watching YouTube, or you're playing on another character. When you're doing anything else, you can flip to another screen. But this action, not only is it 3 minutes long, you have to be attentive to the screen for the whole 3 minutes, where you're like just staring and waiting for that moment it says that it's nibbled, and then you click, and then you gotta stare and wait until it's done, and then you cast it out again, and then you gotta stare and wait for another potentially 2 minutes before you get another nibble.
Okay, a couple things that from me watching, doing fishing for a little while, that my thoughts. Let's say, one, I don't mind that.
Okay.
In the sense that you're right. There's nothing else in Wurm that does that. That is what makes Wurm Wurm. There's a lot of things that you're like, there's no other thing that you in Wurm that's like this, but
it's not that there's
like
not,
this in Wurm.
It's not.
There's lots of different things like that.
It's not that I don't like it because it's nothing like that in Wurm. I don't like it because it's forcing me to stare at the screen. Yeah, it's not only that you have to be attentive, but you have to be attentive to nothing. Right? You're playing the game, but for 2 minutes of that game, the requirement of the game is to do nothing but stare at the screen. Like, what kind of game asks you to do that?
You literally just described fishing in real life.
Right.
But
okay, fishing in real life, but
now,
even in any fishing game that you play, any other fishing game that you play, there is not a single game out there that would require you to wait for 2 minutes of staring at the screen doing nothing until you have to wait, click.
that is not true.
Is it not true?
But it is not true, especially if you're playing fishing games.
Right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Now, which is okay. People have to like fishing to do fishing. especially in a
See,
game.
Zalberg
This
is
is
saying
not a
that's when you
fishing
use
arcade game.
alt characters, but the thing is you can't use an alt character while you're doing fishing. Because the moment you look away to another screen, the nibble happens and you'll miss it, right? So you can't play an alt character when you're fishing now.
I'd say this: the two things that I think that could be better. The first thing is the amount of time it gives you after you get like a nibble
Yeah.
should be increased.
Okay.
You should have
So
a
like
longer time
the
to be able
reaction
to
time.
click the button. The reaction time should be
Yeah.
increased. It shouldn't be
Okay.
so quick. This is not a game like that. Um, the second thing is that it shouldn't be your mouse. Or even if they want it to be your mouse, it should also be a keyboard click.
Okay. Yeah, I agree it shouldn't be your mouse because if I accidentally click the mouse somewhere, it ends the action. Like, let me just test that.
Right.
Yeah. If I
It
accidentally
does.
click the mouse, it ends it.
Should be a keyboard click somewhere. Uh, should it be a sound? Yeah, it should also be a sound.
Hmm.
Shouldn't just be an event window telling you. Should be like a splash or something, if that makes sense.
So Drongo's saying, I don't think the problem is necessarily core system, but you're right. The rewards need to be there, and the incentive to do it should be high. I think there should be an audio cue for nibbles as well, instead of just reading text.
Yeah. I think if they had the audio cue, some kind of splash or sound, if they had uh, a keyboard key that you just
Yeah.
pressed.
And a bunch of other people are saying the same thing. Audible indicator. There's also Wurm Assistant gives you that audible indicator. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can see that because it's just. Yeah, it shouldn't just be Worm Assistant.
Hey, Buddha. How's it going? So audio cue and extra visual effect is coming and tweaks to the difficulty
All
and
right,
fail
so
states.
Buddha said, okay, audio cue's coming. Hopefully, it's just like a splash or something like immersive.
Okay.
Extra visual effects, that's fine. Tweaks to the difficulty and increase in yield is all coming.
Wait, where does it say yield?
That might have been something I threw in there, but I'm sure it's got to be coming.
Yeah. See, I don't know how much you've been watching Buddha, but see all these fish here. I caught them with the fishing net, and I think I got about 3 of them with my fishing line. So I feel like the line is really low in terms of how much fish I can catch with it. How long have we been at this for? We've been at this for. Let's see, the stream's been going for 2 hours. We probably spent an hour making stuff, so we've been probably fishing for an hour now.
I've caught a grand total of 2 fish.
Okay.
I've run out of bait, though.
Okay.
All for a yield of 0.13 weight of fish.
Here, I have some more bait for you.
Thank you. Now, are we trying it wrong? Are we using medium? Shouldn't? Do you still have your light reel? Have you been using your light reel?
I have been using my medium reel. I could switch my light reel and see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's wait till this line comes in. I'll switch to my light reel.
I'm loving the water. The
Okay,
look
so
of the water.
We started with shallower water, and then we thought because we're using the medium reel, maybe it's better if we're out in deeper water. And actually, I caught 3 fish so far out here. I missed the salmon again, but I feel like we've been more successful out on the boat, at least for me. How have you been on the boat?
I have not caught anything yet.
Not caught anything. Okay.
But yeah, like a longer reaction time would be nice.
Mm.
And I don't know if that will fix itself when you get like the cues, the visual cues and the audio cues. Maybe it's not needed. I would love to have a keyboard button to click to reel in. Although maybe that's just personal preference. I don't know.
I would
I'm
also like a keybind.
I'm just missing a lot
Missing a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna try
to
the
the
light
point
reel
where
and see what happens.
I'd also like a skill tick when I miss.
Hmm, that would be nice. A back button on the crafting Windows recipe. I really agree with that. Are you actually timing out a lot or just missing? So we're clicking and missing a lot. It's probably more than 50% of the time we'll click and miss. So like we'll fail the skill check. Yeah. So we're missing the
Okay,
skill
I'm
check a lot.
not. When it says miss, that means that you tried to catch something and it says that you've not caught it. I send more of that time is me clicking and then no message at all.
Okay.
Right? Like, so just now it says you feel something nibble on the line. I click and then it just says the nibbling has stopped, or the nibbling at the end of your line stops.
Hmm.
I'm getting that a lot more than
I'm actually getting the message you missed and in this case it's
like
that you
some
missed the
fish or
salmon.
whatever, right?
And that's
Yeah.
because I
I'm
click on it in time, but I'm failing the skill
I
check.
feel like I'm clicking on it on time and not getting a message that I missed.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that the messages are different. It's just either you get the message that you missed the salmon or you don't get that message.
So
If
here's a
you
second time in this action. So this time I clicked once and it said nothing. It said the nibbling on the end of your line stops. Then I clicked the second time, just thought, what the hey? And it displayed the line you missed the small salmon. Do you think I have to click twice?
So you have to wait for the event window that you feel something nibble on your line, then you
Yeah, I
click.
do. Yeah, and
And
it
if you
does nothing sometimes, and then I had to click a second time.
you have to click a second time.
Yeah, I'm gonna test this out. Maybe there's something wrong with my computer
Okay.
or with the client right now.
The message when you time out, it just goes straight to the nibbling stops. But I think you get that message regardless of if you missed it or if you failed the check. You get that message each time.
Should I 100% be seeing that I missed a fish if I clicked on time?
Well, the other option is that you actually hook the fish.
Yeah, so like if I don't see the message, I hook the fish. Does that mean I did not click on time or did not register a click?
Yeah, probably.
So then to me right now on my client in particular, it looks like I have to click twice.
Okay. You have to click twice.
I'm going to
Whoops.
try that. And it wasn't in time. Yeah, I wish that the reaction time would be increased a bit. Like it shouldn't be such a
I mean,
arcade-ish feeling.
once I
Uh,
found out that the missed message is telling you that you missed the or you failed the skill check. I feel like I'm not missing anymore. Like I'm not. I'm my reaction time is fine. So I get the bob, I click the button, and that's fine. It's just that I miss the skill check.
Right. Yeah. I
A
really
lot.
wish it was a keyboard button.
Hmm.
Let me. So it's been about 2 minutes. I haven't had a fish go up to my hook yet.
Hmm. I do
This is
like
okay.
how these fish can be used as bait.
All
The
right. So
fish
I
that we
clicked
catch.
twice and caught a herring.
Okay. You hooked a herring?
Yeah.
I also just hooked a
Hooked a
herring.
herring. It looks really tiny. I feel like that was my problem. I feel like in my client, for some reason, it's not registering my first click. Maybe if I restarted the client, it would fix that.
Maybe.
Yeah. So that's weird. I'm needing to click twice. Now, I'm not on another window. The client is focused in the sense I'm not changing the focus when I start fishing. Maybe it's just doing it automatically. I can't tell.
So there's another
Oh,
thing that
people are not clicking out.
if you miss, the timer still goes for a little while. I get the message: the nibbling at the end of your
Yeah.
line stops, but the
Like right
timer's
now,
still
if I
going, and then it
yeah,
resets
if
it.
I click a button like a hotkey, let's say my dig button,
Okay.
I'm getting the message I need to be on solid ground to do it. So,
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that you just need to click it once, and you get the
but if I
message.
click once with the mouse, it doesn't seem to do anything. Clicking twice, I'm getting the missed message. And I feel like we
Hmm.
should get a skill tick for a miss.
Hmm.
I would be happy with this. With the, even like
So Sassney, I
you know
think that what he
how
meant by focus was that, like if you Alt Tab away to another screen, like let's say you go to Google Chrome, then your client's not focused. So you'll need to click on the client to get your computer to register that you're focused on that window before it'll register a click.
yeah, and I don't know if it matters. I'm on window full screen. Other things on the keyboard are registering. I can open and close my character window, my inventory. I can do actions. So I'm assuming I'm still focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
Requires 2 clicks.
I mean, all in all, I'm enjoying the experience of fishing. I really am. It's the only thing that's disappointing right now is that after the amount of time we spent, the number of fish that we have, or the amount of weight of fish that we have, is quite dismal.
Yeah, I do feel like it should be more like archaeology
More like archaeology.
in the sense of yield per time invested. And it
Yeah.
should just be like
All out,
I've got
like.
lots of junk fish and none of the better fish.
I hooked the salmon this time, but it jumped the hook.
Uh,
Uh, oh, I see the fish coming up to you.
I missed it.
Missed it. Let's repair my rod. Need some repairing. So Sassney, you should check to see if you're having the same problem as Brian here, where he seems to have to click twice before he gets the message. So try clicking twice.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I needed to get that missed fish message.
Yeah.
That really helped me there
So if you can see like the event
to figure out
message,
that there was actually a problem.
it'll say like you feel a nibble on the line and you got to click and then you got to see the message either that you missed it or that you hooked it. It's got to be one of the two. And if you don't get that message, then that means that you didn't click it in time. But I do feel like there's enough time to click. Like now that I see it and I've sort of like watched the event window, it does seem like there's enough time to click. It just might not be registering that you clicked on it.
I still would like a larger time.
Kron suggests that there might be a slight lag delay between you and the server, but I have a feeling that it's all client side. The whole time that you get the event window message and then the reaction time is all client side. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like the message was from the devs. And what server are we on? We are on Xanadu.
We are on Xanadu, aren't we?
There is one that I just missed. I did miss that one.
Nope.
Oh no, I did
too
get the message.
small of a herring, but
Too small of a herring. Okay.
see, I don't mind that because I did just get a bunch of skill.
Right. I'm finding that if it's a smallmouth bass or a salmon, I'm like there's like zero chance for me to catch it. That's how I'm feeling. So maybe the difficulty needs to be tweaked to allow people to reel in some fish. Like sure, fish should escape. There should be a little bit of that happening. But it shouldn't be 100% of the time. If I hook the fish, I shouldn't be losing it 100% of the time.
Perry, is it Hellion was
Perry
just
Hellion?
here. I see. He's my neighbor. I'm not sure where Perry. I don't know where exactly he is on the map, but I heard that he's going through the labyrinth tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's for the first time or something. I think he's streaming it somewhere on the internet.
When you throw in the line, the target on your cursor stays. Okay, it's okay now. Yeah, it should. I don't think the cursor, like the target, shouldn't stay on your cursor. That should go.
Is the labyrinth a dungeon? Would you consider it a dungeon?
Is the labyrinth a dungeon? I don't know. I would say that it's more of an adventure than a dungeon.
It's an adventure. What would you call it?
Ooh,
An
Buddha.
adventure experience.
I like this change that you might change it to. So Buddha says you might change it to so that it always hooks it, and then it's down to your reeling in checks as to whether you catch it. So you could lose it if it jumps the hook, but as long as you click it in time, it will
Isn't
always
it
hook it.
An adventuring dungeon? Sure.
Yeah, it's a labyrinth.
It's a labyrinth.
It's closer to like a puzzle than anything.
Yeah, there you go. It's like a puzzle labyrinth. Yeah, it's a maze.
With adventure
Which
elements.
is just
and
another word for labyrinth.
storyline.
Uh,
It's fun. I had
and
fun
you get
going
a prize
through it and
at
I
the
made
end.
it. Oh yeah, and you get a prize at the end. And you know what? I also found out that the teleporters are still up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought they were going to be taken down.
Nice.
Wait, what happened? You feel something nibble on the line, and then the nibbling at the end of my line stopped.
Yeah, you get the
And
I don't
then
even
I
think
got
I
the
have it on me
message that I
anymore.
missed it. Okay, oh well.
You get a special prize that you only get if you go and do the labyrinth. Yeah. When did we finish the labyrinth?
So we finished, when did it finish being built? During the summer, right at the end of the
YouTube would
summer.
be able to answer that question
Yeah.
more than I can.
Yeah, you
Uh,
can watch the Labyrinth event that we ran the grand opening of it. And we also did a spoiler video of us walking through the labyrinth and sort of giving our insights as to what our thought process was at
we did?
at each part.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Definitely don't watch that
Don't watch
if
that
you plan
before.
on doing that.
Yeah, don't watch it before you go. Go experience the labyrinth, and if you're hopelessly stuck, then maybe you can go watch that video.
I would still say don't watch that. Just get hopelessly stuck,
Just get hopelessly
frustrated.
stuck.
Get through it. Eventually, you'll make it through. It's not.
It's
I don't think
true.
anyone's been stuck in the labyrinth forever.
There have been people who got to the castle and gave
Are
up.
there people? There are people still in there. Huh?
They have. There have. I watched some people give up after trying the castle for a dozen hours or so.
How do you give up at that point? Can you
I
even
know.
escape?
I know. But if people knew there was a video you can go and watch on YouTube that will show you sort of the ins and outs of it, maybe they would finish before giving up.
Right, I hooked another tiny herring,
Nice.
so at least I'm getting some skill. So I mean, I think ever since I learned that I one click wasn't enough for me, I'm starting.
To catch them?
No, I'm starting to get the skills.
Okay.
I still would like a skill point for not catching. However, if he's saying that you're going to be able to, if Buddha's going to make it so you can actually hook them all the time,
Hmm. Then you will get skill.
then I will get skill and I'll be happy.
Hmm.
Because I have not actually caught another fish. I still am up to two.
Really?
Yeah.
What just happened there? I missed the smallmouth bass. Oh, and it took my bait. That's what happened. And herring is apparently not a bait fish.
No, it is not.
Exon is bragging about the number of fish he's got. 61 fish. Are you using the fishing net though? Because the fishing net, when I was actually on the clay, as opposed to the man-made shore, I was collecting I got maybe 8 or 9 fish in about three sort of actions. So yeah, that was going pretty good. But I just want. Oh, I accidentally clicked. I kind of want the fishing rod to give me similar yields. Or if not similar yields, like bigger fish. It's got to be one or the other. Bigger fish or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, yeah, I don't mind the yields at all. They should just be handing out the fish. Like we should be having tons of
Tons of fish.
herring or tons of whatever like junk fish that they could throw at us.
Right.
And
Like
we
if
should be able to use them to eat if we need to.
yeah, if we got
That's how it used to be.
thousands and thousands of fish. Oh, I can attach the keep net to this. Yeah, what's the problem with getting thousands and thousands of these little fish that basically do nothing? Oh, I missed again. Missed again. Okay, let's attach the keep net to the side of the boat.
Okay.
Okay, I attached it. Where did it go? Oh, is there lag? Backup lag? Some kind of lag. Oh, how did I attach it?
It's there.
I don't know. How did I activated it, I right-clicked it, and one of the option was, oh, here. I right-click and I get open keep net. Okay. And I can't put the fish into the keep net because I'm too far away from the keep net.
Am I? I
Are
am
you?
also too far away from the keep net.
Okay.
There's a problem that should definitely be solved.
Yeah, that needs to be fixed. All right, little bugs that need to be worked on. That's okay. The keep net seems a little bit finicky, I think. But the idea is really cool. I like the idea.
The idea that I caught a herring, but it was too small, so I like threw it back. I don't think that should be a thing.
Yeah,
I
agree
don't
with
see a
that.
reason for that being a thing. Like,
And then the actual
Hot
herring that
thing.
you catch is like 0.05. that
like,
that
I
is
caught
also
the
too
herring,
small.
Give me a herring.
Yeah. Just give me as
Is there,
0.05.
it's gonna be a problem
herring,
if I
please.
have like, 20 herring as opposed to 2 right now.
Yeah.
They're all gonna rot and decay eventually
We're
anyway.
mostly going to throw them away anyway. What are you going to do with these herring that are 0.05 weight?
It's the law. If it's below point 0.1, no,
See,
that's
that
not
would
true.
be
It's
that would be
below
true. They could be used for bait
0.05.
if herring was a bait fish, but it's not.
That's right.
So you can't use the herring as a bait. I mean, my fishing skill's going up. It's at 21.4 already.
It's almost like it's the opposite logic to the way that archaeology was just made.
Yeah. In what way?
Like with archaeology, when we set it out, it was like we were sitting there like, wow, we're getting a lot of stuff. Like, why are we getting so much stuff?
Right. So much
Like
stuff.
within such a short amount of time, we're getting all this stuff, and it's all junk.
Too
and
much
then
to carry.
with fishing, yeah, it's just like so hard just to get one small little tiny herring.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so sardines, perch, roach, and minnows are the bait fish. So I've got a few more perch. You're using the balls, right?
Yes,
It might just be that those particular bait, the dough balls, are not good for what we're doing here.
that's a possibility.
Because I'm actually having half decent success with using roaches and perch.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, let me give you. Oh, I hooked a herring. Let me give you a perch.
I also just hooked a herring.
Nice, nice, nice. Yep, I just got another herring.
It was too small.
It's too small, eh? It looks like our alliance is also working on fishing.
Really?
Rivers here is complaining that herring eat everything. I guess no matter what bait you're using, you're going to always be catching herring.
Which is good. Then you could like
Well, my feeling is that
there
at
should
some
be like a
point,
line of herring like cooking recipes where you're just like
yeah, but at some point you'd want to get to
herring
the point
stew,
where
herring,
you don't catch the small
herring
fish,
and
but you're only
potatoes.
catching the big fish, right?
Yeah,
So
but that's not always how it is.
it's not always how it is, but the hope is that you figure out the system enough that you know what bait and what where to
Right, by
go.
switching to perch, I moved up to from missing small herring to missing the impressive herring.
Okay, it was actually called the impressive herring.
It was called the impressive herring.
Okay,
It was very impressive
but you missed
in
it.
the sense that I missed it. Maybe.
Still unhappy about how long I have to wait before I get a nibble. This one I've waited 2 minutes. 1 minute,
I mean,
50
I
seconds, rather.
completely would think that using better quality bait would give better quality fish.
Maybe I would be less annoyed about the wait time if at the end of that wait time I didn't miss every time.
Yeah. What I don't
Maybe.
think is that lower quality bait should yield no fish. It should just yield like crappier quality fish instead of nothing.
But what do you mean by lower quality bait? You mean the actual quality level of the bait
The quality and the type of
and the
bait.
type?
Like dough balls should yield me crappy,
I don't
herring
know
or
about
whatever.
that. I don't know about
It
that because
shouldn't.
in real
And
life,
if I switch to a perch,
you should get better.
I should be getting better fish or
Have you ever been carp fishing with dough balls in real life? Because you can catch some pretty big carp.
yeah, but that's not how gaming works.
But that's how real life works. Hold on a
That's
second.
not
That
what we're
didn't work.
wanting. Oop.
I need to get my sound working here.
We're looking for some kind of progression.
Okay.
Again, yield shouldn't matter, but quality should and types should.
Okay, let's see if that worked. Can I hear you now?
Yes.
Yes, I can. Good. Whoo. It's just my batteries on my AirPods are running out. So I have to switch to my regular earphones. Oh, and by the time I came back, I missed my fish.
All right.
So JCast suggests if we used a higher quality or higher weighted bait fish, maybe that will target larger fish or larger species. Maybe larger species like, the bass, or maybe. I mean, I'm throwing in some perch or roaches, and that's getting me herring mostly. It's also getting.
Your level.
It's also
the plate.
getting the bass, and it's also getting salmon, but I haven't yet hooked a salmon or a bass. Keep missing those. Ooh, I hooked an impressive herring.
There you go.
There we go.
I just missed a small catfish.
I think this will be the
Perch
winner.
is now moldy.
Yeah, catfish as well. I keep either missing them or they might grab my, like I might hook them for a second, but they jump the hook right away. Yeah, I have a 59 quality herring there. Yeah, but
Did you get a herring?
it's still going in. I'm getting like a ton
nice.
of skill. I'm getting a ton of skill from this guy. He's going and going, and he's just like giving me skill. And what happened? He is a .24 weight herring. 0.24.
Guess that's good. What's the quality?
79. So
wow.
Decent quality. Very small.
That's impressive.
Very small though. I see a fish coming up to your line. Looks like a catfish.
I do sort of see it. And it was a catfish, and I did miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the times that I miss, I should get some kind of skill point. That would be nice.
Mm.
All right. My perch is gone. Switch back to a dough ball.
Yeah, I only have a couple perch left. So I guess you can spend some time with a net at the shore and collect a whole bunch of bait fish. But you're right, I feel like if you're using bait fish, you should be attracting larger fish.
Yeah. Did not successfully land a bass or a catfish with a skill level of 45.
Yikes.
Yeah, that might need changing.
Yeah, I think something needs to be tweaked there. I don't see any harm in allowing people to catch more fish. I really don't. Especially considering the time it takes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to use up the last of this dough ball.
Okay.
And then we're going to count up how much herring and how much weight fish that we got and how much fishing skill that we got in the time that we just took.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
And we're going to have a winner, not including the ones that you caught on.
In the net?
Yeah.
That's going to be hard to test because I used a lot of that for bait. And I can't remember if I grabbed a herring. I think I might have grabbed a herring or two from the net. I'm going to run and grab another beer while we're waiting. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm guessing he's not going to catch fish while he's not here. Or maybe he will.
What did I miss?
You did not miss much. You were gone for a very short time.
I know. I set my line out and I knew that in the first 10-15 seconds I'd be okay.
I did just hook a herring.
Nice.
And I think if it doesn't jump my reel or my hook, I'm actually going to get another herring. So here we go.
Nice. So I'm cracking open a Hotbot IPA.
A hot bot.
Yeah, Hopbot.
Hopbot.
And hopefully I don't catch a fish while I'm pouring. That would be unfortunate.
Ooh, yep, I caught another herring.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I still think I'm going to win, though.
I don't know.
And I missed a herring.
All right, this is my last cast. You ready?
Okay, let's go. Let's do this. I can definitely see myself doing this if if I was collecting resources that were going to benefit me somehow.
Yeah.
I definitely would do this to collect resources. I mean, heck, I sit there in front of an iron vein, mashing the M button over and over and over again because I need the resources that it gives me, and I am so willing to do that. And I love it. And this is just way more interactive. You know, it's more motivating because there's all this effort that I put into my fishing gear, and I'll spend some more time imping it up to make it better. I would have pride in that. The only issue right now that I'm having is...
Yeah, I just missed a small snook. Or snook.
Snook?
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, which brings me to a close.
Okay, I'm about to miss a small salmon. And I guess I'll end there too.
How do you repair your line? I don't think you do repair your line. You just replace your line.
Yeah, you replace your line.
All right.
Yeah, the supreme twig.
Let's see. How many fish did you end up catching?
So I ended up with 9 herring.
That you caught on your fishing rod?
I can't remember whether I caught all 9 on the fishing rod or I might have gotten 1 or 2 from the net.
That's okay. I caught a grand total of 3 herring, which makes me the winner for not catching as many as you.
Yep, pretty much.
With a total weight of 0.22, the highest weighted herring was 0.09.
0.09?
Yeah.
I did get that impressive herring that was 0.24.
0.24, yeah.
And it was 79 quality, so that's the best so far.
My highest quality one was 29.
You know,
quality.
I do feel like there's, you know how people used to have, or they had fishing contests. I do feel like there's more, what's the word? Potential. There's more potential for fishing contests, and people, you know, there'll be more pride in those fishing contests that people will feel just because of the extra effort that people have to go through to get their fishing gear up to snuff, and you know, yeah. So I like that aspect of this.
I think overall it is an amazing start.
Mm-hmm.
I am hoping that they continue and that they flesh it out. They fix some of these problems. They make it more fun on a day-to-day of just doing fishing. They make it more fun for new players.
See, even over there I wasn't getting any, but it was when I was over here by the clay, and I went to the spot that looked more shallow, this is where I was getting more stuff.
I wonder if it's the clay.
It might be the clay, but I think it's more likely that it's the natural slopes into the ground.
Huh.
Now, somebody had mentioned, I read earlier, thank you for that follow, Roscoe. How's it going? So yeah, there was somebody who was mentioning, was it Exin? Oh, here it is. A method with the net is having 5 of them, or as many actions that you can store. So you just like right-click fish. I wonder if fish is a supported action there. Right? This is more closer to the older style where you can just queue up 5 actions and walk away from the screen.
Yeah.
And hopefully come back with a full net of fish.
Well, I've caught with this one action just as much fish as I caught the entire time of fishing.
Right. And there I got a 0.24 weight perch. Oh, I see. You can't cast out the net again until it's empty.
You have to empty it out.
You have to empty it out. So Roscoe, you're quite an old player, but been away for about 5 years. 5 years! Wow. That's a long time.
What's happened in 5 years? I guess.
I mean,
not
like
that much.
That might have been around when multi-story was new.
Yeah.
Multi-story came out at that time, and what else?
Everything.
Wagons. You might have been around when Wagons came out.
Yeah, wagons. You had a child, so been quite occupied, huh?
Makes sense.
Some spare time to 5 years of catching up on this game. There's a lot of stuff that's been added to this game.
Yep.
Over the last 5 years.
Tons. The big ones are bridges. Yeah, building in mines. That's a big one. What are the other big ones?
Bridges,
wall
building in
types.
mines, yeah.
Different wall types. So there's tons of different wall types now. There's also, you can place items on top of other items.
Yep. Pavements.
The different pavements, yeah.
At that time, was there diagonal roads even?
Diagonal roads, yeah. Look at the water. The water is like brand new. Hauling stuff between bulk containers, totally. Yeah, ruins, imbues. Yeah. So you've been keeping up with the patches and the notes and everything like that. It seems.
All right, I've like quadrupled the amount of fish that I've caught.
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna call that a win.
All right.
For myself.
We have a place to go right now. We have a place to be.
We do.
So I just want to take a second to talk about this. We are part of the VEN, which is the Valray Entertainment Network, and there's plenty of other people who are streaming Wurm who are part of this VEN network. And I just wanted to give a shout out to a bunch of them, just to make you aware that there's other people who are streaming Wurm content. If you're not aware, I'm just going to pull up a bunch of names. We got Catspur, who we talk a lot about on this show because we're big fans.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been streaming Wurm and other games, and her channel has been taken off like crazy. She's streaming another game, and then she'll come back to Wurm, and she's converting all these players over to Wurm, which is just amazing. That's just awesome. We have Absurdities, who's streaming like a madman. He's streaming like often. So you can always catch his stream. And I've tuned into him a few times, and it's just very relaxed and entertaining, very entertaining. Of course, there's Bloody Durango, who's streaming every Wednesday for Worm Wednesday. You can tune into him. You can see that he was streaming earlier today.
That's good.
Yeah, and he had a pretty good stream. We have Gaffer Boffin, who is streaming over on Mixer. You can catch his streams. He streams quite often as well. Fabricant. What can I say? Except for eyeballs. Man, he loves eyeballs and placing them around everywhere. But yeah, he'll stream. We got a new member, Gameplay Spotlight. Haven't quite had a chance to catch his streams yet, but definitely looking forward to that. Kimmy and Pink. Always love Kimmy and Pink. Just tuning in. I was saying it earlier. Kimmy always makes me laugh. Just super hilarious. Punish Life. He's been streaming here and there, more often from the Impelong. Brimstone's Vomit. I haven't seen him in a bit, but I was catching his streams earlier as well, and that was fun. And we are about to tune in to a fan of our show. He's been he's been watching our show for a while now, and he told us that he's going to start streaming Wurm, and that he's going to try out our labyrinth and stream himself going through our labyrinth. So we're going to go tune in over here. Let me see if we can. You ready to hop on over?
Oh, I'm gonna have to do this manually, aren't I?
Manually,
okay.
Yeah. You go into your.
Yes.
Okay. Ready? We're gonna just sort of jump in here.
All right.
Okay.
A double stream.
3, 2, 1, go.
Let's just go to the right. We'll do this sort of traditional rule of thumb for now.
Oh boy.
Of sticking to the right.
Perry, you there?
Sticking to the right.
No.
Wow.
No.
Well, look at that. And Jack, I was gonna say, my Christmas wish this year would be that we could thank the creators of this labyrinth, where we are already lost.
Listen. You don't think that whoever created this labyrinth would have thought to eliminate just going one direction the
Well,
entire time?
fair
Well,
enough.
hi.
All right, but it's still a good rule of thumb. It's still a good. If you don't know which way to go, then at least you can give it a shot.
It is true. You will get somewhere.
So Perry, are you currently streaming
If you
right now?
I am.
Okay, good.
I am. Say hello to 5 viewers, I think. Jack Jones, Sparklemancer, Budzilla.
Hey guys.
I have full confidence that the creators of this labyrinth never had any ill thought towards anybody entering it.
I mean, we haven't died. We've only taken minor
Yes.
damage so far.
Yes, we
But we've only-
Good.
we tried our best to reduce the amount of damage that you would take, but we knew that was going to be a problem.
You mean like physical damage, or?
Mostly mental. Mostly mental.
Oh wow! Well, thank you so much, guys, for building this. This is we're already having a great time and really admiring the views. It's the live streams and the videos really didn't do it justice. Actually being here is something else.
Did you see the bridge up above?
Yeah, the rope bridge, isn't that amazing? I
Well-
absolutely love it.
Glad you guys are enjoying it. Are you guys still in the front area, right at the beginning?
Yes, we're
Very
still
much.
in the beginning maze.
And how many times have you made it back to the very beginning?
We haven't yet.
Okay.
We haven't yet. We've managed to avoid it so far.
Hey,
But we just came through the tunnel, the cave that had the false entrance.
are you saying they're like things? It's like, hey, go this way. Oh, you're back at the very beginning. Oh, unfortunately.
There is a reason why it took Catspur 12 hours to get through the whole thing. There is.
Yeah,
See-
that might have been a few other reasons as well. No, she's great.
It was never our intention to have people stuck in there for that long. However, I do know for a fact that there were several people who took upwards of 12 or more hours getting through that thing.
I believe it. I believe it. And there's others that managed to breeze through it in 3 or 4.
You know, the
Or
way
less.
there are things to look out for that will increase your time. We put in many clues to help you along the way. You just have to be attentive to those clues and try to figure out what they're meaning.
I think I
Right
see a
on.
clue right now.
Do you?
Here. Yeah. Look at this. Come back here.
All right.
And look at there. And look at this big balcony opening. It's like a big mouth. It's screaming at you. And it says, "Can't you
No
see
way.
it?"
So, just in case our viewers don't know what's happening here, we got
Because
Perry.
we're still streaming.
Right, we're still streaming.
Oh, awesome.
So you guys are
Dual
on our
stream.
stream. Yeah, dual stream. So we got Perry Hellion here, and he's streaming away, and he's streaming through while he's going through our labyrinth. And also Jack D, who is, you know, I've seen you hanging around here and there in streams. So yeah, it's awesome that you're on here.
Yeah, we're having a great time. I'm really glad I was able to get a partner. Actually, I think it would be a lot less fun trying to do it by myself.
Hmm.
Do you see?
Oh, it's always better in groups.
I'll
Perry, if you look at this tower, don't you think like the double windows up there is like eyes, and down there the kind of like balcony thing is like a mouth?
It is. Yes.
It's
It
a
does
face
look very
tower.
much like that.
It's a bit creepy.
Shall we try ascending the ladder and go up to the top and see what we can see from up there?
After you, I'll catch you.
Fair enough.
So, okay, go ahead.
I was going to ask how you're enjoying the fishing update.
We are enjoying the fishing update.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
There's some
we
really great stuff.
we really enjoy the actual like experience of fishing, and you know, getting our gear up and ready to go and getting out there and fishing. That part's fun. What we're having struggles with is the fact that we're not really catching all that much fish.
Interesting.
But we've
Interesting.
been assured that this is going to be looked at and the feedback's going to be taken into account, and they're going to try to tweak the system to make that experience better. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, Buddha's on it.
Buddha's on it.
So what kind of fishing skill did you guys have before the update?
Not.
Oh, yeah.
really. It was way up there.
Some
Yeah.
awesome skill.
I think mine was
Ooh,
I
11.
think I had
11.
30 something before the update.
Yeah,
so
that beats us.
it makes it hard. It makes it kind of hard to tell whether it's just me or whether it really is harder to catch fish than it used to be. So it's kind of nice to know it's not just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what my favorite thing when I was going through, and I still haven't seen everything that there is. I haven't made a net yet or anything, but when I made the tackle box and I opened it up and I saw all the compartments, I hadn't seen that yet anywhere.
Hmm.
And I was completely blown away. My jaw just dropped.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of my favorite things so far.
So here's a piece of advice. Get a fishing net, and you go into shallow waters, and you can actually catch quite a few bait fish that way.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and it comes in quite quickly. Like one action of the fishing net can bring in like 3, 4, or 5 fish or something like that.
Where's Old B calling my attention from?
On the bridge we got over.
I've reached the dead end anyway, so I better head back.
Yeah,
So
you better go that direction.
now for our viewers, we're going to be winding down here, and we're going to pass the torch over to Perry Hellion, and we're going to raid his channel. So get ready for that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Guys.
you're welcome. I actually have to do this over here, and so we're going to be ending our stream here. We thank you all for coming out and watching us experience the whole fishing system. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next week, you guys keep on worming. And I don't know if you have any final words, Brian.
I do not. So yeah, happy holidays, everyone. I think this is our final stream of the year
Right.
because because Adam's going away. We did not mention that. Adam is going away.
Right.
There you go. Now I mentioned it. And which basically means we are taking a few weeks break at least, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be back in mid-January once the holiday season is over and that everything's back to normal. But yeah.
Till then, I will be in the game playing Wurm, just like hopefully everybody else. So thank you everyone for watching.
And I'm going to try to pass the torch on. I have to double check that I'm doing this right, though.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to end the stream, and then we're going to do a raid over there. And, until next time, see you guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.